Good morning, Rhonda.
Okay, you're probably wondering what the hell happened to that transmission. First of all, it wasn't my fault. Secondly, it's a bad thing that that happened to that transmission, but the good thing about it is you get to see what happens to transmissions when you have a major disaster. In this particular situation, I build a lot of nostalgic drag cars. I build transmissions for 33 Willys, 55 Chevy Gasses, cars of that nature. And this particular car, I think I built the transmission about a little bit over a year ago. And the car has seen over 100 quarter-mile passes, pretty hard passes with a hefty small block, 411 gears, and a slick. It's one of my M22 drag specials. Anyway, what happened was the 9-inch Ford rear that was in this car, the pinion blew right through the side of the case, locked the rear axle up, obviously, twisted the drive shaft. The drive shaft blew. And when the drive shaft blows, it spins around like this. So what happens is as the drive shaft is spinning, it tries to twist the transmission out of the bell housing, which is what happened here. It broke these 3 gears off the case. So what I'm going to do is repair this transmission, put a new case on it. Surprisingly, the inside of the gearbox was in really good shape. But what I decided to do on this video is show you how to disassemble a Muncie gear train. A lot of times people ruin speedometer gears trying to put pullers on them, trying to hit them off with punches or hammers. So I'm going to show you how I take apart a Muncie gear train in about 8 minutes. I'm going to quickly show you how I disassemble a main shaft from Muncie. Really simple. Got the snapping over here on the front. A lot of times these hubs slip off. Some of the later models they do press on, so you may have to actually press this off. But these usually come right off like this, you see? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this around and try to get this snap ring off over here, like this. In here. See? That's all you have to do. Now what we'll do is we'll press from the bottom all the way through. Okay, so the press is now making contact with the output shaft, and it's pressing actually the hub and the first gear sleeve off. By using the second gear to press against the hub inside here. In other words, there's a hub, this hub over here, and that hub is pressing against the sleeve that's underneath first speed gear. So it's going to press itself right through. Very simple. And by the way, I'm using one of these cheap $100 presses I got from a company called Harbor Freight. Had it for about 10 years and abused the hell out of it. So excuse me if I'm not fast enough. Okay, so now we've dropped down, and that means that first gear sleeve is pressed off. And see now that the reverse gear rests right up against the speedometer gear. So we have this little gap now where it dropped down, and the reverse gear is up against the speedometer gear now. And now, put the block in place over here, tighten up the press again, start pressing through. Now by doing it this way, you never damage the soft metal of the speedometer gear with a punch or a puller. And when you put it back on, you just heat it back up and shrink it into place. So I'll take that gear off, reverse gear, get it out of the way. That's off. And the second gear and first gear and synchro assembly. So you can see this whole assembly came off in one shot. Sleeve is underneath first gear. You get your first gear here. You get your sleeve. First gear ring, 1-2 synchronizer assembly, and second gear. Speedometer gear is untouched. It's not got a dent or a ding in it from somebody trying to pull on it or hammer on it. And that's your main shaft apart. No big deal.